Cool.
Um, so thank you, Girl Scouts, for joining us today here on Facebook Live. My name is Luisa Garcia. I am the Entrepreneurial Program Manager with the Girl Scouts of New Mexico Trails. And I am here today with Ava Shije. She is the owner, director, and marketing director of ZenBox. And I will have her tell you a little bit more about what she does in a second. Today, we're going to work on the Ambassador Research and Development Badge and also go over some awesome research and development tools for Girl Scout cookies, which is really, really neat. And so I'm going to pin Ava so she can be on the top here so you can see her. And then we have a few Girl Scouts with us today, and they are going to ask some questions if they have them. If you're on Facebook Live and you ask questions, there's a slight delay. So if you need to and you ask it, I will go back and check it and we will get to your questions. So Ava, go ahead and take it away.
Awesome, thanks. Yeah, I have been an entrepreneur since the second grade. I had started out in a subdivision that had a lot of construction, and I realized that if I piled a little cart, like a children's play cart, full of lemonade and watermelon during the summer, I could follow the construction crews around on their break times and sell to them. And they would ask, oh, how much is it for a glass of lemonade? And I would just say, whatever you can give. And so it turned out to be better than a fixed price model, because it was often a handful of change or a wad of cash. And it was kind of like an Easter egg hunt. And people were really supportive of my entrepreneurship at an early age. And as I grew up, I pursued some little different endeavors just as I saw opportunity. But there wasn't always a really strong market fit like there was with the lemonade business. And I realized how important it is to match up the product or service that you're offering with a really strong need and gap in the marketplace. So if you think about how you can position yourself and your services, just because you can doesn't always mean you should or that you would make money doing it. And finding out more about what your potential customers are actually needing, what their pain points are, what they're not getting out of what's available is an area where you can insert your value and not only decide what you're offering based on that, but also decide how to talk about it, what kind of words to use, what type of person you should go after. When you're thinking about marketing, which is what I studied in undergraduate college, was kind of thinking about how to break people into different groups so that you share a different message with each group. You might remember the Pedialyte drink, that it used to be just for babies, really, for dehydration, and so they would market it to mothers. But then they started listening online and they found out that people were drinking Pedialyte to rehydrate after sports events, if they're athletes. They also found out that people in college who went to late night parties would drink Pedialyte the next day to rehydrate. So they started marketing to these different groups and changing their advertising a lot based on that research they did. So what I'm gonna walk you through today is just getting into this preliminary market research, an exploratory exercise where we can go in and just see how people are talking about a product. And there are a lot of different tools that you can use online. And we're just gonna explore some of the free tools that are out there. And the main tool is Google search. You might think, duh, we all know about Google search. But unless you put yourself in your customer's mindset, then all these fancy paid tools aren't going to mean as much, because that's how most people actually begin their search journeys, is they sit in front of a computer, or they take out their phone, and they look up what they're thinking about to try to find answers. So the way that businesses are able to answer those questions that people are asking is really going to guide the customer's journey to whether or not they find your business. And I'm coming at this a lot from a marketing perspective, and especially a digital marketing perspective, because that's my business. I saw a need for a digital marketing agency in Santa Fe. There are a lot of small businesses in Santa Fe, and they can't always take on a full-time marketing person. And when they do, the marketing person is often bogged down with all these other tasks. You gotta talk to all the magazine editorials, and put up events, and send out mailers. So I decided to just focus on the digital marketing and help out some of these small businesses to build up their online presence. So what we do is we go in and we see how people are searching about a certain business. If it's a small physical business, is it for tourists? Is it for locals? What can that website do to get noticed online through their Google My Business page, through their website? Where are their customers looking online? So this is kind of where we start when we're working with businesses. We say we want to find those opportunities where a lot of people are asking about something, and then find a way where not a lot of businesses are talking about that certain thing, and we can insert ourselves and get found online when we create answers to these different questions. So I created a little guide, a little guided exercise that we can go through together to look at how people are thinking about Girl Scout cookies, and whether that information could be used to modify how you outreach to people. So I'm going to share my screen. Here we go. So this is a little blog post I made on the ZenBox marketing website. That's my business. And so we use this tactic too. We have a blog, and we answer questions like a question a lot of people ask online is, what's digital marketing versus social media marketing? And we said, oh, if a lot of people are asking about this, not a lot of people are answering this question. So we made a blog post about it so that when people are asking, they'll find our website. So I made this post just for you though, on how we can do some market research to understand our customer. And I'm gonna start, I just listed some free tools here. And at the bottom of the page, I have, you can download a worksheet. So I'll just pull this worksheet over where I can see it so I can go through it with you. And you'll do this on your own too, but I'll walk us through the first time. Okay, so the first one I have here is Answer the Public. This is a pretty cool website that you probably haven't seen before. And it's all about the questions people are asking. So if I just type in Girl Scout cookies, let's just start really general. Most searches start really general. And those are the ones that are hard to rank for, because everyone wants to rank for those keywords online. It's gathering all the questions it can find online. Whoa, look at this. Cool, it breaks it out by question type. So I'm going around, it might be really small for you, so I'll just read some of these. Which Girl Scout cookies are vegan? Which ones are gluten-free? Oh, it looks like this section is all dietary things. So a question I put on this worksheet here, what are some common dietary constraints of people who want to eat Girl Scout cookies? So that could be an opportunity where, you know, your neighbor's been talking about their dairy-free diet lately, and you can come to them and say, oh, this cookie's dairy-free. People want to know how they're made, when they're available, will they melt in the car? So from here, I think this is where you can activate your curiosity. Because if you're curious about what your customers are thinking and how you can connect with them, then this will be really easy to go through and just keep researching things that are interesting to you. And then you'll come to 2 hours later and understand so much more. So I'm just gonna take one, let's see. I'm gonna say, which Girl Scout cookies sell the most? I wanna know that. So I'm going to go to google.com. All right, and it shows me right away at the very top here, it has 2 different bars, and these are called SERPs. They're search engine results pages. And Google is always working to get better at showing you the most relevant answer to your question right away. And a lot of websites too are saying that it's keeping a lot of people from going into the actual website, because if they just get their answer right away, then they won't even click on the website that has the answer. So these are really important. And so girlscouts.org has the authority of being the official answer that Thin Mints are the best selling. Very cool. People also ask is a really great section. So in each state, wow. The #1 in 2020. USA Today talked about it. And that's another thing you'll notice is there are different authorities of websites. So like USA Today is probably going to have some really great interviews. They'll probably have some statistics. And then you'll also find some blogs where people just like to talk about Girl Scout cookies. And you can get some ideas for how actual people are thinking. But you won't have the level of authority. If they say something's the highest selling, they might want to cite their source. Are they made in the USA? Virginia, Kentucky. Cool, so this is helpful not only to educate you about the product, but also to see what information is available to the public. All right, another thing I want to show you is the autocomplete up here. So if I just start typing in something, why are Girl Scout cookies? These are the top searches that start with this. So this is another way to start seeing how people are asking questions. I started to type in yesterday, how can I choose between 2, and it recommended men. How do I choose between 2 men? I thought that's not what I was looking for. So next, I wanted to show you some of these advanced tool options. So if I type in, this is another thing I came across, Girl Scout cookies market research. If I hit that, I find some really interesting articles where people have analyzed clever way Girl Scout cookies have sold, what gives Girl Scouts the competitive advantage over some of these different imitation cookie companies. And those would really be worth a read. I think I put in the worksheet to go ahead and read at least one of those articles because they talk about things like the element of nostalgia and how people are buying because they want to support a cause and they want to support you and invest in your future. And a lot of these things you've probably heard before from your troop leaders or maybe parents, but it's really neat to hear professionals in business analyzing what makes Girl Scout cookies so successful. Now, if I go in to tools and I filter by time, let's say in the past month, that might be too recent because of the selling season. Let's say in the past year. Okay, so now I'm getting more information that's relevant to COVID-19. A lot of digital marketing has changed very recently, and businesses in general are adapting and changing the way they bring in customers. So that's when a time-sensitive filter can really help me find some relevant information. And I can go by news, videos. Sometimes if I'm wanting to use an image, I'll use these advanced search settings and I'll choose one that's labeled for reuse, and then I know I can legally use it and not have to credit anyone. Those are funny images. There we go. Another place I want to take you is Amazon. You probably go here just to shop for fun, but now we're going to go here because we're studying. So again, starting real general. So right away, I'm seeing some competitors. It looks like Tate's knows that there's cookie lovers out there searching Girl Scout cookies and they want in on the action. Another thing I see is, as I get down a little further, I start to see some other brands. And some of them are even starting to look like the ones that the Girl Scouts sell. When I click on an authentic, there we go. These look like authentic Girl Scout cookies. Let's see what I can find out about them. So I want to go to the reviews now. 47 ratings. Let's see how the experience of buying over Amazon is different from buying from a Girl Scout. So if someone says, oh, I can just order them on Amazon. Well, are you sure you want to? We have some people saying that they're stale. Some people saying that they're melted together. People saying they're way more expensive. Damaged boxes. Dr. James Harris liked his. Got a peanut butter sandwich instead. All right, so now you have some more information there that you don't want to buy online. You need to get it from me while the getting's good. All right, the next place I want to show you is Quora. Has anyone ever been to Quora? Sometimes I get emails from them and they say, I think I clicked on one story one time that asked about the royal family, and now they always email me to let me know my questions about the royal family answered. Okay, so this is where real people come to ask questions and answer them. Just start out again, Girl Scout cookies. You can get more specific when you do yours, but I'm gonna stay pretty broad because sometimes you can learn a lot more when you don't assume what people are thinking. If you just put out the general topic and then listen first, then you can find things that you didn't even consider. 27 people are talking about what's their favorite Girl Scout cookie. That's how Louisa started our session. Why do people buy them? That's an interesting question.
That is
taste. Yeah. Oh, to share. I hadn't really thought about that one. To combine. Yeah, to combine with.
Go ahead, sorry.
I was gonna say to combine with other flavors. I noticed that some in Answer the Public, people were asking what goes good with lemon cookies, and there were some different pairings. I also learned from exploring that there are 2 different types of lemon cookies, and so that could be an upsell. Even if someone buys one kind, you can say, oh, well, I've heard this other one is really good. Have you tried the other lemon cookie? Well, all kinds of ideas. Whoa, Teresa ordered 20 boxes. Someone call her. Supports a terrific group. They last a year, at least a year in the freezer. Yeah. So the cool thing about Quora too is you can answer the questions. So someone's asking, why aren't Girl Scout cookies available year-round? I think I saw yesterday someone was asking, how can I buy them? Questions like that, you could just jump on there and say, hey, I'm selling Girl Scout cookies. I'm saving up for this trip, or this is my goal, and here's a link to my digital store. I mean, it's an open game here. Okay, so the last part I have is, after going to all these websites, just kind of how are you going to summarize what you learned, and how can you apply it to selling? So at the beginning, we were talking about how customers have specific pain points that they're looking to solve. They're hungry for a box of Girl Scout cookies, but there's not a box of Girl Scout cookies right next to them. What do? They don't get on Amazon. They got to know that you're there for them. So you could learn, you could identify at least one new tactic or one new type of person that you're going to reach out to because of all this. And you'll also know how to answer people's questions better. You'll be able to find a way to relate to people better. You know, if they mention, oh, I got a box online, but the cookies were melted together, you can say, yes, we see that happen if you order online, but it doesn't happen if you buy from me. So you can really instill that confidence in your buyers. And of course, this can be applied to anything. I think the main point here is to just keep an open mind and not come in thinking that you have all the answers already, because there's always more to learn. And when you go online, you're seeing what people from all over the world are asking, and new things come up too. And you can set alerts on Google search so that there's a new news article about Girl Scout cookies. You'll be notified of it. So just having the curiosity and the excitement to want to know more, and the willingness to go down different avenues and explore a topic in greater detail is going to really serve you in entrepreneurship. And you might even find some new websites. Actually, a goal of this is to find a new place where your customers will be hanging out online. So like Quora is an example of a forum. There are places like Reddit, all kinds of websites where people go. And if you identify a certain type of people that you sell to really well, then you might find certain meetup groups online where you could go and reach out to them directly. Like maybe you're really good at selling during ball games. Bad example right now, but and so you can like go online and see what ball games are going on, and you can show up to the practices and go around and sell to the parents. There's just a lot of room for creativity, and I think experimenting is something that you shouldn't be scared of, to just go out there and see what you can take away. Could we maybe open for questions? I feel like I just dumped a lot on everyone.
Anybody in the Zoom or on Facebook Live? I know Facebook Live, you'll get this a couple of minutes after us. We had about 4 or 5 people jump on and off throughout the thing. So if anybody has any questions, or in our group here, we have some girls on here, you can add them to the chat, or you can unmute yourself. And we'll give you a minute or two. And then if you want to show them your, yeah, if you want to do that. And then if you also want to show them maybe the link you sent, that'll send them to the worksheet, correct?
Yes.
And then if you want to show us that before we're done, that's a wonderful worksheet. And that's, I think, a great takeaway from this. You can access it through the link or in the chat here, and you can use that for any of your Girl Scout cookie research. So I don't see any questions yet, but if anybody has any, just add them to the chat and we'll bring them up.
Cool. Yeah, I was just gonna say, if this is interesting to anyone, the idea of digital marketing or entrepreneurship, this is me on LinkedIn, Ava Shije. You can just find me and connect with me, and we can talk, and I could answer any other questions, or maybe you want to know more just about digital marketing, or ways that you could get some experience. I'll show you on this blog post I posted, and I'm sure you'll have the link to this when you're doing your badge. But I just listed all the tools here. And at the very bottom, I have download worksheet. And so when you click that, then you'll see the questions that you can go through and answer. And try to say something different from what I said.
And I do have a question now, if you're ready for a question here. From Kate, it says, other than seeing that there were small businesses without a significant online presence, how did you know you wanted to start a digital marketing platform?
That's a good question. Yeah, so I came out to Santa Fe because I got really interested in art marketing. I thought that a lot of business seemed really boring to me. And I was really fascinated with how can you take a work of art, like a painting. It has a canvas and some wood and some paints, and the input cost is relatively small. But with marketing, you could take a painting and say that it's worth $1 million, and how does that work? So I came out to Santa Fe to work in the art market because there's a lot of galleries here, and I became a marketing director for an art gallery. And their website wasn't good. So I actually fell down a rabbit hole of, I was fresh out of undergraduate college, and I said, oh, well, I'll just make a website, and probably 1,000 hours later, I decided that I really liked making websites, and it was really beautiful to just be able to create a new world just using my computer and make something that's accessible for everyone in the world to visit. So I became really fascinated with digital marketing and just the opportunity, especially of there's so many opportunities for if you just spend time building up the online presence, then you can be doing like what we're doing here, finding opportunities and answering questions. And so I think matching that with the lack of people doing it, especially in Santa Fe, there are a lot of older business owners, and the small businesses just don't always have the resources or really know everything that's going on with digital marketing to be able to build up their websites with good content. So I think it started with everyone in the neighborhood always coming to visit me at work and asking me to help them with their digital woes. And then I realized it could be a viable business, and started networking with more people. If there's something that can do, someone that can do something better than me, I would always rather partner with them for them to do what they're specialized in. So I started building up more of a network of people who are also passionate about the different areas of digital marketing to really see if we could make a difference for these small businesses that are a lot of times left out.
I forgot I muted myself. So that was a great question, Kate. So I don't have anything new on Facebook with the questions, but for everybody that joined us on Zoom or on Facebook Live, or if you use this video again in the future, the link that I added, zenboxmarketing.com, and it has a little bit more information on there. You can also find it on their website. You can go straight to that and go to the bottom for that paper that you can download, complete the steps on there for both ambassador entrepreneur badges. Or if you are a cookie sales entrepreneur and you want to jump on and do that. If you have any other questions, you can email me and I can send them over to Ava. She did share her LinkedIn information too if you have questions about being an entrepreneur. And I think that's all we have for today. That was a great, I learned so much. I don't know about you ladies, but everybody on Facebook Live, thank you for joining us. We're going to end our Facebook Live thing here real quick.